Okay, so here we are. We are recording, and this is COM 115. All you need to know to pass this class. And I'm going to go ahead and say at the outset that there is really no reason at all why anyone should fail this class unless you just don't do the work, because my goal is to see you learn and to enjoy the material, hopefully, that you're learning. Most students do, and resubmit for mastery. Anytime you lose points, or if you're late on something, just communicate with me and I'm happy to work with you, because I want to see you cross that finish line and I want you to pass the class. So with that being said, let me jump in to the first thing, which is the outlook of the course. So we have a part 1 and a part 2. So for the first 4 weeks, we're going to be working on gathering a foundation on which we're going to build for interpersonal communication. We're going to look at ourselves, how we understand who we are. We're going to look at some theories that have to do with interpersonal communication. And then from there, we're going to start looking at some real life application. We're going to learn how to do conflict. We're going to learn about the dark side of relationships. We're also going to look at how we do friendship, how we handle family, and the workplace. So it's a great course that has very real applications to not only your professional lives, which is why you're all doing education, right? You're getting a degree so you can go beyond Bryan University and you can do something in the society, but also in your personal life, because we've always and ever will be, and every day we'll be communicating with somebody somewhere. We just can't get around it unless we live in a little bubble in our house with the curtains drawn and we never get on the internet. So it's with us and it's here to stay. Now let's talk about these assignment expectations. The assignments are due on the due date. I would really like for you to ask questions before you submit an assignment, because it saves you time and it also saves me time. I would rather you be late on an assignment and talk to me about it first so that you get your questions answered, rather than make something up or Google it and submit something and cross your fingers and hope that you did it right. Because it creates extra work for me, because then I have to write you a very long response to explain why it's wrong, and then it creates extra work for you because you wasted time on Google, and now you're going to have to use more valuable time, because time is valuable for all of us, to rewrite and resubmit. So just go ahead and ask me those questions beforehand. And I love teaching, I love learning, and I really want to work with you to make sure that you're very clear on the concepts and assignment expectations before you submit. Second, please write the best that you can. Some of you are coming into this class having not taken English yet, and some of you have already taken it. So just do your very best. Some of us have not taken English class since high school, and even that is sort of a blur. I honestly don't know how I got through high school. And even now, as you know, I'm a homeschooler, and I'm learning so much about English that I'm like, say what? We learned that? I don't remember that at all. So just write the best you can. I have an announcement posted that says helpful tips for writing short answer questions, and majority of what you're going to do in this class is short answer. So make sure you take a look at that. And again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm happy to help you. Second, we have Learn-Its for this class. It's come to my attention that sometimes the Learn-Its take longer in this course than they may take in other courses. And one way to really get around that is to make sure you take notes while you're doing the Learn-Its. And I have another video, surprise, surprise, that I'm gonna post to show you one way that you can do that. If you've never taken notes while you're doing Learn-Its, make sure to watch that video. If you already have your own system worked out, by all means, continue with your system. But I highly encourage you to take notes during the Learn-Its. It will just help you click through them so much faster. It will also help with your retention, because there is a connection between what you do in your brain up here and what you do with your hands as you're writing or typing notes. All right, so now the final part of this slide is talking about the late policy. I'm going to implement the late policy pretty stringently during this course because so many times I've had students, and I've been teaching for over a decade, I've had students wait until the very end of the course to submit all of their assignments. And there's just no way that you can learn doing that. You're just cramming. You're not really learning. So I need you to make sure that you're submitting all the assignments for weeks 1 through 3 by the end of week 4 if you happen to fall behind. Otherwise, you're not going to be eligible to do those for credit, which, like, it pains me a lot because those are building block assignments. And if you don't do those, it's going to be really hard to know what you're doing for weeks 4 through 7. But you have to do them before the end of week 4. So you do have some grace in there. You've got 4 weeks to complete the first 4 weeks of work, but let's get that done. And again, weeks 4 through 7 cannot extend past the Wednesday of week 8. Now, the last part about point deductions, please know that there is a reason that I am a communication instructor and that I don't teach math. I don't like figuring out percentages, and I don't like taking points off. So if you think you might even by like a hair be late with your assignment, just message me and say, hey, Kim, I'm going to be late with my assignment. And I'll be like, okay, sweet. Point deductions I don't have to do because I don't like math. And that benefits you and it benefits me. So just communicate with me. Let me know what's going on. I understand that we all have crazy, crazy busy lives. And again, my goal is for you to learn the material. So let's do that. Next, what can you expect from me in terms of response time? I will respond to you within 24 hours of your messages, your texts, your inbox messages, your email messages. If for some reason I don't respond, please ask me again, because there's a high likelihood that I lost it somewhere or got buried in a pile of emails. Have you ever had emails that got piled, or text messages, and you're scrolling through and you're like, oh goodness, I didn't respond to that. I totally spaced it. So if you don't hear from me, please let me know. But in general, I'm pretty good at making sure I respond to you within 24 hours. That being said, I try to take one day off a week, and Sunday is the day that works for my family. So if you ask me a question on Saturday, like after noon, the likelihood of me getting back to you is kind of slim until Monday morning, which seems kind of bad because most of our assignments are due on Sundays. So that's why it's really important. Again, I want to work with you, and I'd like for you to work with me. If you have a question, ask me before that. I would rather you submit late and get it right than submit something and have to do extra work. I hope that is helpful to you. Now, yellow dig. It's kind of like the bane of all of our existence, right? Nobody likes yellow dig. Even as an instructor, it's hard to get on there and do yellow dig, but it is important because it is the only way that we can really work towards building a community in our class. And that's why I'm on board with it. We're in an online environment, and especially this class, we do not have regular live sessions. We don't get to see each other every week. And when we do yellow dig, we, again, learn the material and we build this community. I loved that when Leanna, is it Liana or Leanna? You can correct me later. But when you hopped on, Cynthia was like, hello, Miss Liana. And you guys know each other. You've seen each other. You've seen the name of that person before. And that's how we cultivate community. That's how you feel like you're not on an island here at Bryan in this online environment, but that there are other people who are doing this work right alongside of you. And you have a group of peers, and your peers are here because they care, just like you're here because you care about what your future is going to look like. So let's make sure that we are all digging on yellow dig. I know things get crazy. I know you might not have time. Sometimes I don't have time, but just when you do, get on there. One thing that I think is so helpful with yellow dig and schoolwork in general is this idea of time boxing. So you set a timer for yourself and you're like, okay, for 5 minutes, I'm going to focus on nothing else but Yellow Dig. I'm not going to take a brain break and look at Pinterest or Facebook for 5 minutes. I am going to write a pen or I'm going to respond to somebody. If you can handle more than 5 minutes, set it for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 2 or 3 times a week is going to help you get all the points you need for Yellow Dig. Grading for Yellow Dig takes place twice, in the 4th week and in the last week. I'm going to post your grade for the 4th week based on everything you've earned up until that point. Yellow Dig is worth 200 points, as 20% of your grade. You can only earn a maximum of 35 points a week. So if you do the math, remember, not good at math, but it adds the totals for me in the administrative tab, you have some fudge points in there. So if you're over 100 points, I'm going to let those count towards the second half of the course. If you're under 100 points, but you can really ramp it up in the next 4 weeks, whatever you earn at the very end, I'll go ahead and put those into your total grade. Okay? So just focus on earning as many points as possible. And again, circling back to that first point, why Yellow Dig? We're there so that we can build community with each other and we can learn the concepts and hopefully have some fun, because why wouldn't we want to have fun? I'm all for fun. So that is the course in a nutshell. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast. I know that your time is valuable and I want to respect your time. So I'm like, and it's also recorded. So I want people to watch the whole recording, and people do not watch recordings that are more than just a few minutes long. If you have questions, I'll end the recording. You can ask me those. Otherwise, feel free to text me. There's my text number, and you can Canvas inbox me, and then also you can always email me. Okay? Ta-da! So I'll end this recording.